We'll see. Yeah.
Okay, welcome everyone. I'm so glad to have you here tonight. My name is Judy Stahl. I'm a consultant with Clever Container, and I just have to tell you how pleased I am to see all of you here today. I know how busy you are in your lives, and so it really means a lot that you came out today to spend a little bit of time with us. I want to start by thanking my lovely host, Sarah. Sarah, you have been so much fun to work with. We have had a ball planning this night, so let's hear it for Sarah. We all need a little applause in our lives. We don't get a dog as women. So I want to tell you a little bit about what you can expect from this evening. First of all, you got to know that we're not going to be here for a long time here, because I know you're not really here to see me. You are here for some girl time with one another. So we're just going to spend a little bit of time. But what we're going to be talking about first is peace. How many of you could use a little bit more peace in your lives, right? Okay. So that's what we're going to be doing. I don't know about you guys, but when my space is a disorganized mess, I swear it transfers into my brain, and I can't think straight, and I feel incredibly scattered. So what Clever Container has for you is we have products, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to start that organization journey to create peace in your life. So what I would say, I'm not selling products, I am peddling peace. So that's what we're here for. Secondly, we are here to laugh and have a good time. Again, I mentioned earlier, we just don't take the time that we used to spend with our friends. Not because we don't want to, but because our lives are so crazy. So I hope you guys can have a good time here. And you know what's crazy about that? You might have so much fun that you're going to say, oh, you know what? We want our friends together. We're going to do this again next time. So as your wish list grows, I want you to know that my average host is going to walk away with $80 to $100 in 3 products. Okay? They are going to get items for half price, an unlimited discount of up to 20%, and you might even get some products for 70% off. So sounds like a great deal, right? So as your wish list grows, I want you to keep that option in mind, all right? Then lastly, I want you to imagine. Now I know that nobody came here tonight looking for a job, but I want you to imagine what you might do with an extra $500, $1,000 a month. And if you can spare 15, 20 hours a month, then you can get that extra $500 or $1,000 in your household finances. Wouldn't that be nice? So if that's something that intrigues you, then I want you to just kind of keep an eye on me. I'm going to show you how easy it is to do what I do. All right, so here is what we are going to do tonight. We are simply going to go around the room, and I want you to answer one question for me. Do you consider yourself to be an organized person? Yes or no? If your answer is no, then I want you to share with me the one area of your home that makes you crazy. All right? And we're going to start right here. Kay. All right. And Kay, if you didn't hear, her closets are the area of her house that makes her crazy. All right. So let me just ask you, how many of you have your own closet at home? Okay. How many of you are sharing with a spouse? Well, you'd be happy to know that on page 72, we have all the answers to unorganized spouses. Page 72. Oh, that's right. There is no page 72 in our catalog. Here's the thing. You may not be able to immediately influence your husband and your kids by becoming more organized, but if you start making steps yourself, they will follow suit. Now, you may not ever have that happen perfectly, but they're going to start picking up on the systems that you have put into place. So let's start with the closet. Now, when I became a consultant with Clever Container, the first area of my house that I targeted was my closet. And that's because a lot of my products that I got in my kit were closet organizing products. And I've always lived by the idea that if it weren't for my husband and kids, I would be the most organized woman on the planet. Yeah. Can I get an amen to that? I know it's true, right? Well, here's what happened. I went into my closet side note, I have not worn since the 1980s. But I do keep them in case I ever have a slip emergency, right? So that goes in here. And then that just got tucked in the back of the drawer. So what I did is I took those things that I don't use out of the day-to-day stuff that I use, which already makes it easier to find the things that you're looking for in your closet, or in your drawer rather. Then I went back with the additional pieces that come with the combo, and so with this thing, you can buy the smaller pieces separately to add to your collection, but you do want to start with the combo because that's going to give you everything you need to organize that drawer. These are interlocking, so it helps to stabilize them in the drawer, and then you can go back, and I have one for dark socks, one for light socks, one for bras. I have the one big open space that's left over where I just throw my undies that I do not fold. It's okay not to fold. And I have to tell you, 4 years later, that drawer looks exactly like the day I organized it. Because when I do laundry, it's very easy to return things to their home when I don't have that drawer. Can I tell you how happy that drawer makes me in the morning? It's like, hey, if nothing else goes right today, I've got an organized undie drawer. Everybody needs it. All right. Okay, so let's talk a couple of other things for the closet, for Kay's benefit and maybe for the rest. Vertical space. Cover container makes very, very, very good use of vertical space. And what I love about that is that you can really save space in your closet by going vertical. We've got the handbag file, the jewelry cubby, we've got the shoe cubby, and the flip-flop cubby. Now, what I want to caution you about is don't pigeonhole those items into what they're named for, because there's lots of other ways that you can use them. You can roll up sweatshirts and sweaters and put them in the handbag file. You can, if you're a seamstress, you can roll up fabric, and instead of having it in a tub where you have to sift through it, you can easily see what you're looking for. Yarn, it's great for yarn. If you have teenagers, then you have t-shirts in your house. And my teenagers, I swear, it's almost like you've got thousands of t-shirts. And that's what they wore. They wore that. Okay, so when I would do laundry, I would fold those t-shirts up nice and neatly. I'd put them in my kids' drawer. What happens the first time they go looking for a t-shirt? Everything in that drawer is a jumbled mess because they're looking for the one that happens to say a certain thing on it. So here's a tip. You fold them backwards. The imprint of what's on the t-shirt is visible now. You roll them up from the bottom so that you can see what's on the imprint, and then you tuck them in the handbag file. You can get unlimited amount almost, it feels like, in that handbag file. Now when your child needs one, they see which one they want, they pull it out, and everything else is still intact. So the handbag file. Now, for me personally, the handbag file was my favorite because I'm kind of a handbag girl. I never buy really expensive ones because I like having a lot of different ones. I was able to clear out an entire section of my closet, and the shelf was left open because I pulled all those handbags down, tucked them into one handbag file, back in the coat closet. I can get to them. They're easily accessible. They're dust-free. They're ready to go. But what that did is now I've got another free shelf. And I went back with our classy quilted collection. 2 of them, actually, is what sits on that shelf now. And these are terrific. If you are not currently separating out your clothes seasonally, this is what you need these for. And I'll tell you why that is. When you are working and organizing a closet, the main issue for most of us is we have a lot of stuff. So now you're maintaining all of that. If you simply take the time, it doesn't take long, from season to season to pull out the things that you know you're not going to wear, because you're not going to wear, blazers in 90-degree heat. Take those things out, you roll them up, you store them away. And these, by the way, are collapsible, so if you're not using all of them, they're not going to take up space. But you're probably finding you will always have these in use. But now, on a day-to-day basis, you're working with half of your wardrobe. And that alone is going to make it a whole lot easier. Now, I also need to let you know, because I always love a good deal. As a host for Cover Container, this is a really popular item with my host because you can get that entire set for half price. Actually 70% off now. I just realized that we've got it for 70% off. So you have the opportunity to maybe get that for 70% off. Some of them choose it for free, so you might be able to get that for free as well. So terrific item for you. All right, a couple other closet items, and then we're going to roll on to the next. And I always talk about this one because if you have camis, then this needs to be on your invoice. And if you have daughters with camis, then you need a couple more of these on your invoice. You can use this is our belt hanger, by the way. But you can spaghetti strap camis, ideal for this. And then the other one, which I don't have, but you're going to see in your catalog on page 29, is our scarf holder. And it's a really popular product for anybody that loves to wear scarves, but it makes a great gift-giving idea. So keep in Mother's Day, Christmas, if you like to get a jump on Christmas. Because if you have people that are hard to buy for, you're going to be able to find some great items for them. So you can get that scarf hanger, you can pair it with a lovely scarf, makes a really great gift-giving idea as well. Thank you, Kay. All right, let's move on. Debbie is organized. All right, do you have any problem areas, Debbie? Okay, well, then I'll tell you what.
People always tell me.
You're sick of hearing it. All right, well, you know what? The obvious thing I have to tell you, Debbie, is you need to be a part of my team. Because you might be able to help me first off, but you can help others as a consultant. You know what? You're going to make money doing it. What could be better than that? All right, well, let's move on to another area of the house that we'll just talk about the kitchen. And even though Debbie doesn't need help there, I know that it's a problem area for a lot of women. And one of the key things for most is just having enough space in the kitchen. And it may not be the kitchen, maybe other areas of the house. But space, having more space is something that sometimes you feel like, well, I only got so much space to work with. So one of the ways to become more organized is to take space that is currently unusable and make it usable for organizing. And one of the products that I love for that is our over-the-door pantry organizer. And this actually comes in your kit. So as a consultant, you can get this. It's made of a heavy-duty nylon. It's got 12 double pockets. So there's actually 24 pockets here. So you can put this on the inside of the pantry door. It comes with door hangers. And you can really make valuable use of that space that's currently being wasted. Not just for the kitchen. You can put it on the inside or the back side of the bathroom door. You can put it in a bedroom, rather. You can put it in a coat closet. It's ideal for hanging or storing scarves, gloves, umbrellas, that kind of thing. So that is the over-the-door pantry organizer. And then one of the other ones that I love for creating space is our expandable shelf. And this is the smallest version of it, and we all have those real narrow cabinets. So it really is great for that, for storing coffee mugs or any all sorts of things. But it expands it completely out. Now you can add to your cabinets an entire new surface of space. And you can use these in any cabinets. And what I love about them is that you can pair them with our binwares. So you can take the binware and you can have one large and one small side by side on that. Or if you just want to go with 3 small, you can have 3 small side by side on the expandable pantry shelf. The small ones also tuck underneath. So you can have a really great system inside your cabinet. Now, a quick little story for you. I have teenagers. I may have mentioned that already. So we're kind of a family on the go. If you have teenagers, you know how that works. So we have to always grab quick things. So one of the things that I found when I would come home at the end of the day is I really basically could tell you everything that my family ate all day. Because what? Yeah, everything's left out on the counter. So we go through, as an example, we go through a lot of granola bars. They're a quick grab. And I literally buy 5 or 6 boxes of granola bars on a weekly basis. And when you put 5 or 6 boxes side by side, they're going to take up this much room in your cabinet. I can take all of the granola bars out of the boxes, dispose of the boxes, and get them all into one small binware. So now when my kids come home and they want something, instead of getting the box down, taking what they want, and leaving the box on the counter, they can just open it, take it, and tuck it right back in. And they tend to do that. So it just makes it really nice for that. The other thing I love about it is when it comes time to go shopping, I can open up that pantry and say, okay, that one's needing replenished. We need microwavable popcorn. We need, so I can really quickly see instead of looking at the boxes and saying, well, okay, let me see how many I actually have left. So it really makes it great. So compartmentalizing things is another really great way to have systems in place that you can maintain and will help you be more organized in your area. All right, let's see. A couple that I have to tell you about also. One that I love, that I don't have with me today, but it's in your catalog, is the shelf help. And I think it's on page 26. You can take a look at that. It hangs below. So you put it on the shelf, it hangs below. Ideal for bread. You can put 2 loaves of bread side by side. Instead of somebody throwing something into the cupboard that's going to smash the bread, it's going to keep it nice and healthy the way it's supposed to be. Not just for the kitchen. I have one in my closet for my workout clothes. So you can put them in the bathroom. So again, that is really creating space that was currently unusable. And then the last one that I need to tell you about is our black skull fruit bowl. And this is also a great gift-giving idea. That's why I talk about this one. If you've had these before, you may have had one that's not quite as awesome as ours. Because a lot of times you put the bananas on here and it starts to bend over because they're just not very sturdy. Ours are made out of a heavy-duty wrought iron, so they're nice and sturdy, bananas and fruit. Now, the gift-giving idea first starts with you. So if you don't have one, you want to gift one to yourself, because it's going to be something you'd like to have on your counter. It's really pretty and it makes that fruit easily accessible. But perfect gift-giving idea for that hard-to-buy person. You can fill it up with fruit, add a bowl, and you got a great gift idea. All right, thank you, Debbie. Hello. Oh, okay. All right, very good. Then let's move on. So we had somebody come in that I didn't see. Okay, very good. All right, so let's talk to our next. Hi, how are you?
Very well.
All right, now we had I'm sorry, your name? Treva, I'm sorry, I should know that because Treva is a past host of mine. We partnered on a party not too long ago, had a great time, so we're going to shake things up. Instead of you telling me your problem area, I want you to tell me a little bit about what your experience was as a host for Cover Container.
We had a great time. Everybody sat around and drank wine.
Awesome, I remember that.
And it was a very fun party atmosphere.
All right. Did you find it easy to do?
I did.
Okay, good. And that's the thing that you need to know. I'm the professional here. I know it doesn't seem like it at times, but I'm going to make it really easy for you to be the host and to walk away with all those great products. So tell me what your favorite products were that you got from being a host.
Actually, I love the car products.
Okay,
We
fantastic.
travel a lot. It's a sweet seat.
Okay, awesome.
If I'm driving by myself, of course, I have it in the front so that everything's accessible.
Good.
So when my husband and I drive together, then we switch it to the back, and I can always go to the back and get what I need.
Awesome, awesome.
And my other favorite product is the car tote.
The cargo tote. Okay, awesome. Yeah, okay.
I actually have a couple of those. One I leave in there for emergency items, emergency kit, blankets, paper towels, always stays in there.
Good.
And the other one is folded up when we go shopping. So I just take it out and
Ideal.
put groceries in.
All right, I'm going to have Treva come up because I think she needs to be a consultant. She is really good at selling these
And
products.
I actually have to tell you that my husband wanted another one because he thinks that's a great Grammy and Pop idea for having the grandkids put their toys away and finish playing Grammy and Pops. Just throw the toys in there.
Good.
Go back to
Absolutely. Lots of great uses for the cargo tote. And for those who didn't know, she's talking about one of our car products. This is called the cargo tote. This does also happen to be my personal favorite because this can go in the back of your trunk or in the back of your SUV. It has Velcro on the bottom, so when you put it in place, it's going to stay. It's not going to slide all over the place. But this is ideal for grocery shopping because to get things in the house instead of trying to make 5 trips, you can load this baby up. It's got nice heavy-duty handles to take it in and bring it back out. Normally on the second trip, I have it all done. It does fold down, so when you're not using it, you can fold it down. You can chuck it between 2 seats, and it's really easy to store. Now, the car products to start on page 4, you're going to see a number of car products that you probably want to have. If you guys are like me and you're running kids around, sometimes you feel like you spend more time in your car than you do in the house. So having products that are going to help organize that space is great. The cargo pockets spans the whole width of the back of that vehicle, so you can put sporting equipment in that, emergency equipment, as Treva said. I had one of my guests that said, well, I'm not using my cargo tote, I store it in my cargo pocket. So that was kind of cool too. As a host for Club Container, you can get our car products, 3 of those car products for $21. That's a 70% savings. So, and they come in the pop dot or the black, so you're going to be ready to go as a host for that. All right, thank you, Treva. Hi.
Hi, I'm Leslie, and I have a huge paper problem.
Huge paper problem. I'll tell you what, paper is a struggle for most households. And in my mind, the reason that is because when the paper comes into the house, generally it's kind of a chaotic time of day. So you just got off of work and you grab the mail, or the kids are getting off the bus and they grab it, and you're thinking about what you're going to make for dinner, and it just gets plopped down on a pile on the counter, and then 3 weeks later the pile is high, and it's a real struggle. So there's just a few tips about paper that are going to help you in that area. Now the first one is touch it once. And again, just like the husband problem, there's nothing in the catalog that's going to make that happen. That takes just a little bit of self-discipline. But how many of you would agree that, I don't know, half of the stuff that comes through our household is junk mail? Okay. Literally 10 to 20 seconds. You can zip through that and you can file 13 right to the screws or the 3Ms, we all love those. It comes with 7 pockets, so you can have one for every day of the week, you can have one for kids, each of your children, bills to be paid, coupons, all of that. And you can pair it with our magic folders. Ta-da! And I know you're waiting for the magic to happen. They are not actually magic folders, but if you guys are like me, I like things that are pretty. So the fact that these are pretty are going to make them something that you use, because who likes a boring old manila folder? So you can pair these with the magic folders, and you've got a great organization system right in your kitchen area. So you bring the paper in, you quickly go through, you file 13 the things you don't need, and then get dinner started, and for those few minutes that you'll always have while dinner's cooking, you go through everything else and put it right where it belongs. So that is one option. Now, second option, which I don't have with me, but is in your catalog on page 20, is the file to pile. And that is a hanging system that is pretty enough to sit right on your kitchen counter. So again, make it easy, it's right where it needs to be, make it vertical. Now, if you're not sure to even where to start, then we do have one that's called the Panic No More, and it's right there by the file in your catalog. And that is a complete organizational system. It comes with pre-printed labels for what most households need to keep track of, or you can create your own system with your blank labels that come along with it. So that's the second option. And then lastly is our sleek set. And this is the sleek paper. This is on page 32 of your catalog, but you're also going to see a couple other companion pieces that it has. That's the sleek pen and the sleek magazine. What I love about these products is these are lifetime products. So this is a one-time purchase that you're going to have forever. They are classy enough and perfect to sit right in your kitchen. Again, you can pair them with our magic folders, and you can have a system that is right there and easy to maintain in the kitchen area. Now, a special and a really important thing to note about the sleek set is that as a consultant for Clever Container, you can actually earn the entire set within your first 90 days of business. And actually, just to make it even more interesting, you can earn our classic quilted collection in your first 90 days. You can get $400 in products with your paycheck as a consultant for Clever Container. So that's just something to think about. All right, very good. Well, we are ready to wrap things up, but I do have to just end with a couple of things. So I want you guys to kind of think about, visualize in your mind your favorite retail clothing store. And we all might be different, but I want you to kind of put that in your mind right now. Okay, if you're like me, when I walk into that store, I head directly to the back of the store. Why do I head to the back of the store? Where the bargains are. We all have a good sale. So let's say you're walking to the back of the store and you come across a rack that says 20% off. So of course you're going to stop there and you're going to start looking through. And as you're doing that, you look up and you see a rack that says 50% off. So of course 20% doesn't seem like a big deal anymore. So you go to the 50% off rack. Then while you're standing there, you look up and you see one that says 70% off. So walk back to that one. Now let's just imagine for 1 second that as you're at that rack, you look up and in like a really dark corner, you see a rack that says free at that store. And you're like, jackpot, right? All right, isn't that going to happen? Absolutely not. Maybe those first 3 racks, but you're never going to see the rack that says free. Well, here's the good news. As a host for Clever Container, you are creating your own shopping sale. So you are going to get products for free. You're going to get products for 50% off. You can get products for 20 or 70% off. And my personal option for you is you're going to get an unlimited discount of up to 20%. So you can get the whole rest of the catalog that you don't get for free 50 or 70. You can get it 20% off. So something to consider. And the best part about it is you get your girlfriends together for a night, and that's how it happens. So give that some thought. And then lastly, I want to invite every single one of you to be a part of the Clever Container family. And I have to tell you, the reason that I do this is because I really don't know all of you well enough. I hope to get to know you better, but right now I don't know what your life circumstances are. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, but here's what you need to know. I'm not pushy about it. So you do not have to bury your head in your catalog and avoid eye contact with the consultant at this point of the party, right? I want to encourage you to listen to me, because even if you know it's not for you, as I'm talking, you might think, oh my gosh, you know what? My sister was just saying how she just hates her job. She lives for Fridays, she dreads Mondays. And that might be somebody that you would bring to Clever Container. Or maybe your neighbor was just confiding in you and saying how much they just can't seem to make ends meet. to do. There are a lot of different reasons why people become clever consultants. I started because I wanted to be a mom first, but I also wanted to be able to, have that financial security and be able to contribute to the family income. So what I was able to do is create a business that allowed me to quit a full-time job, and quite frankly, I make way more with Clever Container than I ever made working full-time. So that might be you. Or you could be that person that really just needs that few extra $100 a month. Maybe you want to get out of debt. Maybe you want to have a cash Christmas. Maybe you want to take the vacation that you've always been talking about that you never quite get to. That is something that Clever Container will do. Now, if you turn to the inside back cover of your catalog, you're going to see how no risk it is. Literally $149 for a drink. So worst case scenario, you buy that kit, it doesn't work out. Okay, well at least you know. And guess what? You got $350 worth of stuff for your $150. So really no risk. But imagine for a second that it does work out. And now you've created exactly what you need for yourself and your family. So the main takeaway here is don't be afraid to ask me. I am not going to talk you into this. But I'm just going to give you the information so you can make a decision as to whether or not Clever Container is a good fit for you. All right. So I want to thank again all of you for coming tonight. You don't know how much I appreciate your time. I'm hoping to really get to know each of you. Again, thanks to Sarah